Good morning and welcome to Country Shortcut Cooking. Today, we're going to do a recipe that's real special to me, and I've been doing it for years. It's not quite a shortcut. We're going to kind of take the long way home with doing this recipe, but I call it Contraband Bread Pudding. Now, bread pudding was not something that I ate as a kid or we had that much uh, around. But when I had my restaurant, I was at a national catering conference in New Orleans, and before I went, I wanted to do some research and go to as many places and eat as many kinds of foods as I could. Well, on a lot of the menus, I kept seeing bread pudding. And I'm like, bread pudding? What's the big deal with that? And so I get there and I'm in the Commander's Palace, which is one of the famous restaurants in New Orleans. And I'm sitting down with a friend, and the waiter walks by with this plate with a souffle cup and something with sauce on it and everything else, and a souffle coming out the top. And I asked our waiter, I go, what's that? Oh, that's bread pudding souffle with whiskey cream sauce. What? Give me one of those. So after I tasted that, I go, oh, bread pudding. So through the years, I have developed a recipe that I like to make for friends and colleagues and everything else. And one of the things, I worked at a school district and was part of the nutrition department. So this was not quite nutritionally standard. But I would make this and I would send out a text or an email, and it would just have one word: contraband, because it didn't really follow the nutrition standards of the nutrition department. And so that's where the name came from. So the recipe is pretty simple. It uses French bread, just the kind you get from the store, milk, heavy whipping cream, vanilla, some butter, which will be melted later, cinnamon sugar, some eggs, my coffee, some white morsels, and make sure that you use a good brand, Ghirardelli or Nestle Toll House. Don't use the cheaper ones because they don't melt the same. And some half and half. So Griddle Girl, it's a little chilly out here this morning. She's still in bed sleeping. So I'll get her up in a little while. We'll come out, get all this stuff gathered up, and a little bit later we'll see you for the recipe. So Griddle Girl woke up from her nap. Come here, baby. Come here. Come here. Yeah, she's still a little tired, but she woke up. She's ready to work now. She's ready to work with Dad. Yeah. Yeah, let's get going. Okay. Okay. All right. That's my girl. All right, let's get started on this recipe. This is that bread that you see at the store that they bake every day, the French bread. You're going to get a loaf and a half of it. You're going to slice it, about half-inch slices, like this. I'm going to slice the rest of it right now. We're going to lay it out for a half an hour so we let it dry out just a little bit. I'll come right back when I have it sliced. All right, so we've got the French bread sliced, been sitting out about a half hour just to dry out just a little bit. Now we have our 13 by 9 baking dish. Take a little Pam spray, put it in there. Then we're going to take these, dice them up, about half-inch squares. Don't worry, even if it smashes down a little, it's fine. And this takes a little while, so I'm going to finish dicing all this stuff up, which you can just take your time when you're doing it. And I'll be right back when we have all of this in there. And don't forget, when you're dicing up all this bread, put your towel under your cutting board so it won't slip around while you're slicing all this stuff up. All right, we got all of our bread cubed up and in the pan. Now we're going to start adding our ingredients. We have a cup of heavy cream, 3 eggs. I'm going to knock the crap out of these here for a second and whip them up. I'll be right back when I got them done. All right, the eggs have been successfully murdered here. Now we're going to add 2 tablespoons of melted butter, tablespoon of vanilla extract. Make sure you use the real stuff. Do not use imitation. It will not taste the same. Okay. And now 2 cups of milk, whole milk, and a cup and a quarter of sugar. Same thing. I'm going to have a little battle with this bowl, whip this stuff up, and I'll be right back. All right, I'm the winner with the egg mixture all mixed up. Now we're going to take this, And we're going to spread it evenly all across the bread mixture. Same thing, that's going to take me a little bit, so I'm going to take a break. When I come back, I'll have it all covered. There we go, just the old back and forth, back and forth. Get it all even. Just so I don't forget, we've got the oven preheating, which it's already done to 350. You want to turn that on 350 right when you start to do all these ingredients, so it's ready to pop this in the oven when you get done. All right, I've washed my hands really well. I always do that. But if you think that you have cooties or you're not real fond on putting your hands in something that's going to be all squishy, you could put on a pair of gloves right now. But it's real important that by hand you push this down. And you push it down real firm till the milk egg mixture comes back up through. All right, I'm going to keep doing that for a second, and I'll be right back when I'm done squishing. All right, finishing touch before we pop this baby in the oven is we got a couple tablespoons of cinnamon and sugar. And in the comments, I'll actually put how you mix the cinnamon and sugar in case you don't know how much cinnamon and how much sugar to go in there. And then you should have your gloves off if you had them on. If not, I've washed and dried my hands. And then you just sprinkle this evenly all over the top. And I'll be right back. And we're going to get ready to pop this baby in the oven. But first, we're going to visit Griddle Girl's Friends of the Day. And today we have some special guests from the CB Foundation who they do a lot of work with helping animals and people. And we have a special friend in there that we're going to try to find a new home for today. So we'll be right back.
This is Eddie Murphy and Miss Murphy. Eddie and Miss Murphy are around 12 years old and have been together for 11. They are the dynamic donkey duo. This bonded pair was saved from going to slaughter, and now they're living their best lives, spreading love, laughter, and the occasional loud hee-haw across the yard. They're total people donkeys, especially when kids are around, and they never say no to a good scratch, particularly on the rear end. That's the VIP zone. Miss Murphy isn't just sweet, she's a certified legend. She once faced down a mountain lion to protect her herd and lived to bray about it. And she's also a rattlesnake bite survivor. She is a humble action hero, and Eddie is her leading man. He's always by her side, proving that true love has 4 hooves, 2 tails, and 1 favorite scratching spot. Together, they're living proof that heroes come in all shapes, sizes, and sometimes with very big ears. This is Miss Dolly Parton. Miss Dolly Parton is a 3-year-old terrier looking for her forever home. This dazzling Southern belle is as special as the Grand Ole Opry itself. Dolly has more smarts, sass, and sparkle than a rhinestone cowboy hat. Don't let her size fool you. This girl's got a heart big enough to headline Nashville. When life got tough, Dolly pulled off the ultimate mom move. She carried each of her 4 puppies one by one to safety, knocking politely on a stranger's door like a true lady before dashing off to fetch the next baby. All pups were saved thanks to Mama Dolly's grit and brains. Now it's her turn for a standing ovation and a forever home. She's loyal, loving, and ready to be your duet partner for life. To adopt this country legend in the making, contact the CB Foundation at 760-382-1461. What do you call a dog magician? A labracadabrador.
Now we've got that cinnamon sugar spread evenly across the top. Open up the cave of doom. Pop it in the oven. 350, 40 to 45 minutes, and we'll come back. And when we pull it out of the oven, we're going to make the sauce that goes on the top. All right, I just put the bread pudding in here. Maybe not the cave of doom, maybe the flavor cave. So that's what we're going to go with. We'll be right back. All right, we're almost ready to take the bread pudding out of the oven. But one more thing, I made a video about this bread pudding recipe a few years back, and I'm going to put it into the comments. There'll be a link there, and it's the full-length video. And the difference is today we're going to do a little shortcut because we're going to do the sauce and melt the morsels in the microwave. The other one's done with a double boiler, but also it shows you the recipe from start to finish. So you might want to go there if you want just a little bit more information than you're getting today. Okay? All right. Okay? Remember 40 to 45 minutes, but remember the golden rule. It always should be golden brown when it comes out of the oven. So this took just a little bit longer because we're at a little higher elevation. Now we have nice golden brown. That's going to sit. That's going to settle down a little bit right now. Shut our oven off. Then we're going to get started on our sauce, which is the 6 ounces of white morsels, or you can use white chocolate chips. That's up to you too. And I forgot how much. Half and half. Some half and half. Hold on 1 second and I'll check that. Be right back. All right, mystery solved. 3 tablespoons of half and half. You can also use that heavy cream that you have if you had some leftovers that we put into the bread pudding. But this is exactly how I always do it. So we're going to put it in the microwave for 30 seconds. And be right back. So this is after 30 seconds, and I'm going to use a spoon. Stir this around a little bit. And then after this, we're only going to do 15-second increments because it'll get done pretty fast. So this is the shortcut today. And there's 15 more seconds, and now we can whip it a little bit. Whip it good. And that's ready to roll. Just a second, and I'll show you the next step. All right, now we got our sauce, and this just gets spread evenly. We're almost getting to the good part. We're almost getting to the eating. So I'm going to spread this evenly across the whole thing, and it's pretty darn close to us taking a bite. The final drips. Now we're going to let it set for just a couple minutes, and then we're going to take a bite. All right, let's see if this is any good. That's already. Now, if you want to go up that flavor ladder a little bit more, tee up some vanilla ice cream when this stuff is warm. And you go like that. Contraband is ready.
For more information on adopting Miss Dolly Parton, call the phone number on the screen. Updates on her journey will be posted in the comments. Devore, California is a rural community just north of San Bernardino, where Interstates 15 and 215 meet.